Welcome back to the second hour of June 12th, 2013's edition of Fire Your MD Now. Dr. Eisenberg, a Harvard guy, a Harvard PhD, I believe, invented the term attention deficit hyperactive disorder. He was the guy that first saw that there were, in fact, kids who had crazy behavior, and he started investigating all of this stuff. Early in his medical career in the mid-1950s, Leon Eisenberg became fascinated with the childhood mind. Wanting to know more, he broke free from the shackles of the Freudian psychoanalytic dogma that dominated child psychiatry at the time to conduct groundbreaking biologically based research of childhood developmental issues. The research included the first randomized clinical drug trials in child psychiatry, right? So he basically invented the terms attention deficit disorder and attention deficit hyperactive disorder. And now on the internet there are all of these claims that he said that ADD and ADHD is a fictitious disease months before he died. However, when you actually break down what he said, and this, by the way, this was extracted, all of this internet memes were extracted from an interview that happened in a German publication called Der Spiegel, and it was misinterpreted. Really, what Eisenberg was referring to is the fact that ADHD and ADD are way, 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 way over-diagnosed. And here's an interview between Harvard psychologist Dr. Jerome Kagan and Der Spiegel. Spiegel says, in the 1960s, mental disorders were virtually unknown among children. Today, official sources claim that 1 child in 8 in the United States is mentally ill. Kagan: that's true, but it's primarily due to fuzzy diagnostic practices. Let's go back 50 years. We have a 7-year-old who was bored in school and disrupts class. Back then, he was called lazy. Today, he's said to suffer from ADHD. That's why the numbers have soared. Spiegel: experts speak of 5.4 million American children who display the symptoms typical of ADHD. Are you saying that this mental disorder is just an invention? Kagan: that's correct. It's an invention. Every child who's not doing well in school is sent to see a pediatrician, and the pediatrician says, it's ADHD. Here's some Ritalin. In fact, 90% of these 5.4 million kids don't have an abnormal dopamine metabolism in their brain. The problem is, however, if a drug is available to the doctors, they will make a corresponding diagnosis. And so we go down the rabbit hole, letting the medical doctor feed your kids Ritalin, even though they don't have a primarily diagnosed problem with dopamine receptors in the brain, which is supposed to be the degenerative root cause of ADHD. Again, remember, from the reductionistic Newtonian allopathic point of view. And so we slide down the slippery slope of pharmaceutical-dominated allopathic reductionism into our doom. They're giving it to your kids, ladies and gentlemen. Are you okay with that? You okay with them giving this crap to your kids, misdiagnosing them? You know that when laboratory rats are fed Ritalin, they develop an insatiable craving for alcohol and an addiction to alcohol? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Let's go to Montana now and talk to Antonia. OsteoFX ain't working for her restless legs. Hey, Antonia, thanks for calling. You are live. Hello, Antonia.
Hello.
Come in, Antonia. Hey, Antonia, how's it going in Montana?
Good.
Good, good. Well, you're live. How can I help?
Well, I talked with you, and you said that I should take the OsteoFX Plus, and in 7 days I won't feel it anymore.
Yeah?
But it feels like my legs are getting worse. In fact, all my bones hurt, especially around my kneecaps, around my elbows.
Okay. So how much do you weigh, Antonia?
115 pounds.
115?
Yes.
Okay. And how much OsteoFX Plus are you taking?
2 tablespoons.
Okay, 2 tablespoons. And how do you measure that? Do you have a tablespoon measure in your kitchen?
Yes.
Okay. And when do you take that?
In the afternoon and at night.
Okay, so you take 1 tablespoon in the afternoon and 1 tablespoon at night?
Yes.
Okay, and before you take it, do you turn that bottle upside down and shake it?
Yes, I do.
All right, good girl. And have you stopped eating the 10 bad foods?
Not really, no.
Yeah, okay. So, see, there's 2 things. When medical nutrition doesn't work, there's only 2 operative reasons why it doesn't work. Number 1, we're not taking enough, or number 2, your body is not absorbing what it's taking. So in order to help your body absorb this stuff efficiently and better, you have to stop eating wheat, barley, rye, and oats. You have to stop eating anything made from wheat, barley, rye, and oats. And I'm going to bet you 25 cents that you eat quite a bit of wheat, barley, rye, and oats. And how do I know that? Because everybody in the world does. So, for instance, what did you have for breakfast today, Antonia?
An egg and a piece of bread.
An egg and a piece of bread. Well, there's the wheat right there. And what did you have for lunch?
What did I have for lunch?
Yeah, I know. I'm putting you on the...
Some soup, meat, and nothing actually.
Some soup and some meat. Did you have a roll or a piece of bread with lunch?
No.
Okay. But you do eat bread every day, right?
I do.
Yeah, so you need to stop that. Well, that's not exactly true. You need to stop eating bread that has wheat flour, barley flour, rye flour, or oat flour in it. You can have bread made from gluten-free flour. Gluten-free flour is fine, and you can find that around. Or for goodness sake, just stop eating bread, number 1, because the molecules in bread that's made from wheat, whole wheat, barley, rye, and oats, the molecules in those grains make it hard for your body to absorb the nutrients that your body needs in order to work well. So it's kind of like you're trying to pour water into a bucket that has holes in it. Well, that's not going to work because you're pouring the water in the top. It's going to leak right out the bottom. So here's what I'd like you to do for 7 days, okay? I want you to write this down. For 7 days, I want you to completely abstain from all wheat, barley, rye, and oats. No bread, no cookies, no crackers, no pie crust, no bagels, no pasta. For 7 days in a row. And also, during those 7 days, I want you to take 1 ounce of the white liquid calcium 3 times a day. 1 ounce in the morning, 1 ounce in the afternoon, and 1 ounce immediately before bed. And each time that you take the 1 ounce, which by the way is 2 tablespoons, so I want you to take 2 tablespoons 3 times a day, and each time you take it, I want you to put the white liquid calcium in a couple of ounces of orange juice. So put 1 ounce of the white liquid calcium in a couple of ounces of orange juice in the morning, in the afternoon, and immediately before bed. Do that for 7 days. Eliminate wheat, barley, rye, and oats during the same 7 days, and then call me back on day 8 and tell me what happened. The problem here, Antonia, is you're just not taking enough. And because you're eating bread every day and probably some other forms of, wheat, barley, rye, and oats, your body's not absorbing it. So take it in an increased dose for 7 days and give me a call back with a report. And thank you so much for the call, and thank you so much for the trust, and thanks for following up with me. You just need a little tweaking here, and it's going to be all good. Going from Montana to Michigan, we're hitting the M states, talking to Dave, who's calling in with an update. Hey, Dave, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hey, Doc, thanks for taking my call. Hey, before I forget, while I was on hold, I heard a commercial from the Pork Producers of America wanting us to switch from pork to beef. Isn't it funny how they just announced that China is buying the world's largest pork-producing company in America, in the world, this week?
You think there's a connection? Yeah, I think there's a connection.
Yeah. Anyway, today is the 7th month anniversary of my fall down my stairwell into my basement, 13 feet, and I shattered my talus bone.
Ouch.
U-shaped bone that connects the ankle to the leg.
Ouch.
My surgeon told me that I had an 80% chance of losing my foot.
Wow.
I was, he said it was the worst break fracture he's ever seen in his life.
Oh, man.
It was dislocated 2.5 inches out of the socket for 12 hours.
Woo! It hurts me just thinking about that.
And then I had a 2.5-hour surgery to rebuild it. I got a couple of screws, but I got to tell you, I'm walking, no crutches, no cane. I have lost. I started taking longevity April of 2011. Once the year, we moved from the city. I'm legally blind. We moved from the city to the country onto 10 acres in December of 2010. Because of years of listening to Alex Jones and seeing what's coming, I wanted, my friends and family thought I was running away to hide, but no, I needed a place to make a stand, and I got to tell you, the longevity is, thank God, Alex Jones, I got to tell you, he reintroduced me to Doc Wallach several years ago. I remember getting a tape back in like 95 or something.
I know, the dead doctors don't like tape. I think that tape sold 100 million copies, right? 100 million copies. That's one of the reasons that kept longevity afloat for all these years before Alex Jones. Hey, listen, Dave, we're out of time. Up against the hard break, man. You're the greatest. Great testimonial. Ladies and gentlemen, give the body the raw materials it needs. Stop eating food that's gumming up the works and prepare yourself for a miracle. And do what Dave did. Move to the country and stockpile from food, baby. Bad times are ahead. Hey, everybody, visit my website, fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.com, and sign up for my free newsletter so you can get an exclusive invitation to tomorrow night's webinar. I'm having a webinar tomorrow night. It's free. Once a month, we do free webinars for anybody who can come, who wants to come. In order to get information about how to get that, you got to sign up for the newsletter. That's free as well. Check it out, fireyourmdnow.com. Sign up for the free newsletter. All you need is to give me a name and an email address. We keep it all in-house. We don't sell that stuff. And you'll have instant access to my good food, bad food list, my video against the grain, and you'll know how to get into tomorrow night's webinar, which is all about skin health, busting the myths around sunscreen and methylparabens and how much sun exposure is good sun exposure and when should I listen to my MD. Let me give you a secret. The answer is never, never, ever, ever. Well, if you're in the emergency room and you need to be in the emergency room and you've had your physician, the attending physician, drug tested, then you can listen to them. If you're on the battlefield and, heaven forbid, step on a landmine, get your ankle blown off, you can listen to the military field surgeon. Those are the only exceptions to the rule. Going from Michigan to Alberta, Canada, to talk to Andrew. Hey, Andrew, thanks for calling. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Hey, thanks for the call, man. What's the weather like up there north of the border?
It's actually nice and sunny out for a nice change. Better than rain.
Yeah, we've had a lot of rain down here, too. Actually, it looks like it's piling up here. There's a big storm moving across the middle of the country right now, and of course, one of the things I noticed about the difference, because I spend quite a bit of time up in Canada now because of my longevity groups. By the way, shout out to the Calgary and the Camrose longevity groups. You guys are awesome up there. I'm going to be coming up in a couple of months, so let's get it together and get her done. But one of the things that I noticed was your news is so completely different than our news. Well, our news, it's all about fear and loathing and be very afraid of this, and this murder just happened right next door to you, and there's a giant storm of the century coming. And in Canada, it's nothing like that. It's just news. And I mean, it was a remarkable difference to me. I don't know why I went off on that tangent. But in any event, I love Canada. Thanks for calling, man. How can I help?
Not a problem. I have a long list of questions, but I'll keep it brief. I'm calling about pharmaceuticals. I would love to get off the pharmaceutical train one of these days, and I was wondering if you know of any supplements to the medications that I have.
Well, the supplements will make the medications that you're on work better, because medications work not through pixie dust and fairy dust. They work through human metabolism, right? And what's human metabolism made from? Vitamins, minerals, essential fatty acids, and amino acids. So drugs work by virtue of your biochemistry, and when you support your biochemistry with vitamins, minerals, essential fatty acids, with the 90 essential nutrients, the drugs work better, number one. But number two, remember, the drugs rarely and extremely rarely cure anything. The drugs are only there to manage the situation. So I understand where you're coming from. You'd like to get yourself so healthy that you can safely and efficiently stop your prescription meds. Is that where you're coming from?
Absolutely.
All right. So first things first, tell me how much you weigh, please.
Just over 200 pounds.
Okay, 200 pounds. How tall are you?
5'9".
5'9". And how old are you?
34.
34 years old. Okay, great. And what diagnoses have the knuckleheads in the white coats given you?
Well, I've been told since the day I was born that I have epilepsy, which I spent years going to the doctor, doing blood tests and all these other things for different medications until I found one that seemed to work.
How many, do you still get seizures?
Not while I'm taking the medication. The last time I tried to come off my medication, I still don't think there's an actual seizure. I think it was my body going through withdrawals from not having the medication.
Yeah. And so was it one seizure every hour, or what was that like?
Well, I had just had the one seizure. I was still living at home with my mother. I was talking to her, and I started having the seizure. She freaked out, called 911, and had an ambulance take me to the hospital, and they put me right back on the medication.
All right. We're up against the hard break, buddy. Stick around. I'll answer your questions and dial this in for you when we come back. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now. Stick around. Hey, here we come to the rescue. That's right. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your friendly neighborhood naturopath, your steadfast advocate for health. By the way, Dave, who called us in the last segment from Michigan, wants everyone to know he also lost 80 pounds. Not only did he completely recover the health of his foot that was injured in a fall, that his surgeon said was the worst injury to his an ankle bone he'd ever seen in his life, and he thought he only had a 20% chance of saving the foot. Not only did Dave save the foot, he lost 80 pounds into the bargain. Let me tell you something, he ain't going to find those 80 pounds back again like everybody on Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig does, because those programs do not get to the root, and we do. Snap out of it, ladies and gentlemen. Your health is really your only wealth, and we have health recovery, science-based, boilerplate, clinically verified protocols for you right now. What are you waiting for? 866-582-9933. Now, we're talking to Andrew, way up there in Alberta, who was diagnosed at birth with epilepsy. What else have you been dealing with, Andrew, or is that it?
I deal with ankylosing spondylitis.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
also I get a lot of headaches, so my doctor prescribed Zipramine.
Yeah, oh, my God. What part of the head did the headaches show up in?
Usually behind my eyes or up in the front at the top.
And is the headache on both sides of the head at the same time, left and right, or is it just mostly over the left or mostly over the right, or what's the deal?
Usually equal on both sides.
And does the headache feel like your head's exploding from the inside out, or does it feel like your head's being squeezed in a vice, or does it feel like someone's hammering a nail into your head, or what's it feel like?
It tends to pulse, so almost like somebody's driving a nail into it.
All right. And what makes the headache feel better besides drugs? Like, for instance, some people with headaches, a nice ice pack they immediately feel better, and some people, ice makes it feel worse. Some people put heat on it. Some people have to lie down. Some people have to walk around. Some people want to put a really tight hat on or put a headband on and tie it really tight. Is there anything that alleviates your head pain even just a little bit?
Sometimes if I go lay down for a couple of hours, it goes away, but it doesn't always work.
And when you get a headache, does your face get lobster red or bright red, or do your ears get really, really red?
I haven't noticed, but probably.
Do you become sensitive to light when you have a headache?
Yeah, a lot of times.
Okay, good. All right. All right, so first things first, there's a homeopathic medicine. I don't know, are you familiar with homeopathy? Have you ever taken a homeopathic medicine before?
No.
All right, well, homeopathic medicines are safe, easy, inexpensive. The worst possible thing that can happen is it just won't work. Homeopathic medicines are great to take. I want you, please, to go to your local health food store and pick up a homeopathic medicine called belladonna. You spell that B like baby, E-L-L-A, D like David, O-N-N-A, belladonna. Now, homeopathic medicines are dispensed in little tubes. Looks like it's about as big as your index finger. It's going to be a little blue tube, probably. And inside that little blue tube is going to be about 100 little white medicated pellets. And what I would like you to do the next time you get a headache is to take 2 of the pellets of the belladonna orally, pop 2 pellets in your mouth and suck on them like a Tic Tac. Do 2 pellets every 15 minutes until you feel relief from the head pain, and then stop taking the belladonna. Now, if you take 4 doses and nothing at all happens to the head pain, then it's not going to work, and it's the wrong treatment, and, you know, it's just not going to work, so you can throw it out or just don't use it anymore. By the way, it's going to cost about $10. Oh, and the strength, I want you to get a particular strength of the remedy. On the side of the tube, it will say belladonna, and then it'll have the number 200, and then the letter C or the letters CK. So I want you to get belladonna in the 200C or the 200CK strength and take that orally every 15 minutes, 2 pellets, when you get a headache. Now, if it works and it makes the headache go away, then you stop taking it. This is the reverse of what you've been taught. Stop taking it, and then if 2 or 3 or 4 hours or 2 or 3 or 4 weeks later the headache comes back, you take 2 pellets every 15 minutes until it goes away, and then you stop taking it. So that's what I want you to do for the headaches. That's kind of a hit or miss from the hip recommendation, but worst possible scenario, you'll be out $10, and the medicine just won't work at all. But if it works, you're going to love how you feel. Now, ankylosing spondylitis, from our point of view, is a facultative breakdown in the nutrition of your musculoskeletal system. It's like really bad arthritis, right? So in order to, what we do in the face of that diagnosis, whether definitive or presumptive, is we recommend that you get on board with a medical nutrition program which supports and promotes the structure and function of your musculoskeletal system. I mean, that's just a smart thing to do. So you're topping in at 200 pounds. The recommendation for you per month would be, by the way, is there pain? Does the ankylosing spondylitis generate pain?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And do you feel as if the pain is in the skin, the muscle, or the bone? Where do you feel that the pain is, or don't you really know?
It feels more like it's in the bone, but it could be in the muscle, I guess.
All right, very good. So here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to get 2. No, I'll take that back. I want you to get 1 healthy bone and joint pack. 1 healthy bone and joint pack. All right? 1 healthy bone and joint pack. 1 bottle of Cal Toddy. You spell that C-A-L, like California, or calcium. Toddy, T-O-D-D-Y. 1 Cal Toddy. 1 healthy bone and joint pack. 1 Cal Toddy. and 3 bottles of glucogel at the 240 count. 3 bottles of glucogel at the 240 count. Now, who told you about this radio show, Andrew? Who was it that turned you on to this?
A friend of mine that worked for Frito-Lay. He had an accident a couple of years ago, I guess, but just gave out on him. And his nephew or somebody sells longevity, and I had started buying longevity stuff last year, but haven't been too committed with it until this year, so
okay.
Haven't seen any results.
All right, so you know how to buy the stuff, right? And you already have a contact up there through whom you can get the stuff. Very good. So, all right, so you need 1 healthy bone and joint pack, 1 Cal Toddy, 3 bottles of glucogel at the 240 count, and 4 bottles of selenium, 4 bottles of ultimate selenium. That's the last nail in the coffin. 4 bottles of ultimate selenium. Now, your contact up there can tell you how to take it. And if they don't know how to take it, then you can call my office staff. That number, 855-347-3696. They'll tell you how to take it. But I want you to do those supplements every day for 90 days. 90 days. That's 3 months in a row. In addition to that, please eliminate from your diet, starting yesterday, all 10 bad foods. There are 10 foods that you must stop eating immediately in order for this program to be effective. Quite frankly, in order for your body to rally and even have a chance of fixing itself, you have to stop pouring into the body stuff that's hurting the body. So you can get that list for free on my website, fireyourmdnow.com. Sign up for the free newsletter right there on the front page, and you're good to go.
Signed up for the newsletter.
All right, so you've got the good food, bad food list. You already know what it is?
Yes.
All right, good man. So eliminate those 10 bad foods. Take those nutritional supplements. And the final thing here for you to do, because of the history of epilepsy, is consume a diet that's high in cholesterol. You want to be eating eggs and butter and rare steak and rare hamburger and chicken skin. Throw the chicken away, eat the skin. Turkey with the skin. Cholesterol, 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 and top it off with some whipped cream, man. I want you to go crazy for cholesterol because your central nervous system, which is under siege because of the diagnosis of epilepsy, needs cholesterol. It's made from cholesterol. For goodness sake, if you had a broken bone, we'd give you more calcium. That's just a smart thing to do, because why? Well, that's what the bone's made from. It needs that to fix itself. Well, guess what? Your central nervous system is made from cholesterol. You need more cholesterol in order to give your body a fighting chance. Now, because this is a holistic paradigm and because this is a holistic method, the supplements that are in the stuff that I just recommended, which is a musculoskeletal support program, is also, by definition, going to help your central nervous system because everything's connected. But in order to kind of take that to the next level, because of the history of epilepsy, the only additional thing that you need is to add a diet that's high in cholesterol. I mean, if you can do it, eat 6 eggs a day. 6 eggs a day. And we prefer eggs soft-boiled, poached, or soft scrambled in butter. And also, don't be afraid of salt, Andrew. Get into the habit of salting your food so that it tastes good, right? Now, in the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, there's a topical cream called CM, like Charlie Michael, CM cream. I want you to apply the CM cream liberally to the part of your body that is suffering from the bone pain, ostensibly from the ankylosing spondylitis. Now, this CM cream, like the homeopathic belladonna, is either going to work or it's not going to work, and you're going to know in about 20 minutes whether the CM cream is working. So when your back or whatever part of your body, your bony skeleton starts to ache, rub the CM cream into it and give it 30 minutes. And if it's working, if it's a good thing for you, it'll knock the pain down for 3, 4, 5 hours. And then you can just use the CM cream as needed to knock down the pain externally while we're supporting the body's ability to fix the problem from the inside. And this is kind of like the 1-2 punch. Well, in this case, because we get the belladonna baby, it's 1, 2, 3. And that's how we do it. I want you to follow this program for 90 days, and please understand that adherence to the diet is of maximum importance, Now, if we are successful and things start to turn around in your favor, in your behalf, then a couple weeks from now, a couple months from now, we can have a conversation about reducing your meds, okay? But first things first, we have to build your body's nutritional tank. We have to fill that baby up. We have to really dial in the diet discipline and take small steps like this. And by the way, one of the things that you are going to find, interestingly enough, is that the meds that you're taking, once you nutrify your body, are going to work much better. So be careful. You want to read up on the side effects of the meds, because the same dose that you're taking now might be twice as active in the body a couple of weeks from now once you're nutrified. So just educate yourself about what the side effects of those drugs are, and if you start to develop any, go back to the knucklehead that prescribed it and have him knock the dose down. Or, if you feel like it's your body, take care of it yourself. Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. Love Canada. Give me a call back every couple of weeks for the report. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now. Make sure you visit fireyourmdnow.com. Sign up for my free newsletter so you can have access to tomorrow night's webinar. You're going to love it. It's all about healthy skin, how to love the skin that you're in. Going from Canada to Texas now to talk to Larry. Hey, Larry, thanks for the call. You are live.
Thanks, Dr. Glidden. Hey, I've got a back injury, workman's comp thing, about 2 years ago. It was first diagnosed by the workman's comp doctors as a Facet's disease, of course.
Yeah.
They want to defer any responsibility from the actual employer where I got injured from. But anyway, they sent me through this round of therapy. It didn't work. And so then they sent me to a specialist. The specialist looked at it after an MRI and says, oh, you've got a dysfunctional disc at L4, L5, S1, which I've got a protrusion there. I've seen the x-ray. But anyway, here we are almost 2 years later. Now the insurance company, you know how the laws are here in Texas. Once they get an MMI rating, they can quit paying you. They can quit providing you any benefits.
Right.
So that's where we're at, and it's on appeal right now. But I've pretty much seen that they're not going to do anything. They're not going to do a thing. So we are longevity distributors. We're regional marketing directors.
Great.
And so I need to figure out what I need to do. I think you gave me the answer with that last caller, but I need to find out in this issue with my spine. I go to the chiropractor 3 to 4 times a week and get adjusted. It's the only relief I've gotten. So what I need to do is find out what I need to do nutritionally to start helping. I'm confused why my body's not healing itself. So there's something that's deficient here.
Yeah. So, this is the thing. I mean, so this makes you the smartest man in Texas, right? By the way, are you in Ray and Yolanda Brown's group?
No, we're under Richard Reese and...
even better. Yeah, that's direct from Alex Jones, right? Yeah. Okay, very, very good. All right, so basically what you have to do is you have to stop eating the 10 bad foods, okay? That's really important, because if you don't do that, you might be taking the appropriate dose of the nutrients to help your body fix itself, but your body ain't going to be absorbing it because the food that you're eating is getting in the way. Or a better way to look at it is you wouldn't put diesel fuel into an unleaded engine, right? Well, there are 10 foods that you have to stop eating. Otherwise, you just piss into the wind because this ain't going to work. You can get that list for free at my website. Just sign up for the newsletter and you get the list. It's called, the title of the Good Food Bad Diet is called Good Food Bad Food. And in that list, there are 10 foods that we've identified as bad. You need to just stop eating them immediately. And quite frankly, everybody in your family, everybody in your life should do the same. And then the recommendation Once you've got that base covered, which is very, very, very important, then you just have to pour the proper nutrients and the proper dose into the tank. And that's easy. It's 1 healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month. 1 bottle of 1 capsule of glucogel, 1 tablet capsule of glucogel per 10 pounds of body weight per day. So if you're 180 pounds, you take 18 a day. If you're 200 pounds, you take 20 a day. If you're 250 pounds, you take 25 a day. And you can just do the math and calculate how many bottles a month you'll need to buy to meet that goal. If there's any pain, you can get a bottle of the CM cream and apply it topically to help your body knock down the pain. That's hit or miss. Most of the time that hits. If it's a joint-related issue, it hits. I don't know if it's going to work with a disc-related issue, but it might. It's a good thing to have around the house anyway. So apply the CM cream topically. That's all that you have to do, man. And look, chiropractors are awesome. I love chiropractors. I had one on the show a couple days ago. But what you need is nutrition. You can adjust the bones all you want, but if they don't have the raw materials they need, they ain't going to fix themselves. Your body wants to fix itself. Your body knows how to fix itself. It's just lacking the nutrients to do it. Dial in the diet and take those supplements appropriate for your body weight every day for 90 days and expect a miracle, Larry. You are going to love how you feel. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny tomorrow. Tell everyone in your life it's all about vaccinations. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. See you then.